Our hotel offers two channels for booking a room. We've already captured the first one, which is the customer using our website to directly book. And on the right-hand side of this sketch, I've now added the information supply chain for a customer directly calling the hotel and having a conversation with reception in order to book a room. You'll also see in this sketch some visual flags which just identify the risk of this process. So a verbal conversation is riskier than a piece of information held by a system because there's no record, which is why many hotels record your conversation in case of future customer complaint. And we can see this supply chain just captures all of the process that happens in that conversation between the customer and hotel reception in order to achieve the confirmation of the booking, the payment, and to issue a receipt. As before, I've captured the duration and the frequency of each action, and I'm going to use this now to understand the annual cost to the hotel. In order to do that, unlike the last sketch, I've removed the cost for the customer, so we only have costs carried against the hotel reception staff of $50 an hour. The total number of transactions are 100,000 bookings per year, and that's a 60-40 split between phone calls and accessing the website. I am now going to use our dashboard in order to gain some insight around the capture that I've completed in the sketch. The first of our dashboards is the balance scorecard view. This gives you a tabular perspective of the information you've captured behind your nodes. In here we can see cost versus value. We're able to order these high-low. And we can see that our highest value area is in the booking section, but it also carries the highest cost. Annually, this process is costing the hotel $325,000 a year. We can see the information, action, systems, and people associated with this part of the process, and we can look at each individual action cost. Here we can see that checking room availability, the booking decision, and the booking options parts of the conversation are the most expensive. We can also see that booking confirmation costs $100,000 per year if we manually have to go through the process of issuing an electronic receipt outside of the website. These are things that we might be able to mitigate if we can try and push customers to our online channel rather than the phone channel. The other dashboard that we can look at is the people dashboard. This gives us the perspective of each individual associated in the supply chain. So we can see all of the actions here that our customers have to undertake. If we switch this to look at the hotel reception, we're able to understand all of the tasks they do, the cost versus value of the tasks that they do, and the overall cost of this process being managed by people. So this people dashboard allows us to gain some very deep insight around the total cost of the process, the amount of time being spent by staff enabling this supply chain. This will allow us to understand whether there is an opportunity to mitigate any wastage that we find in order to create a better future state where we're mitigating these costs. In the next set of videos, we're going to start looking at a few other examples and some use cases for Lync. We're going to look at the sketches that have been created and the information and the insights that the dashboards are able to provide us with.